Hello everybody. I wanted to add a new children's book to my YouTube channel. I hope that during this time of quarantine, it's something that parents and teachers are able to utilize, and it's helpful to either give them a break or just have a new resource for the kids. And I was lucky enough to receive two beautiful children's books from my friend Emily Jones McCoy. She is the endgame reporter for the Texas Rangers, and she's also a children's book author. She's amazing, and she sent me her two books so that you know what she's written. A Place for Everyone, and the illustrations are done by Chloe Douglas, and she also sent a book about baseball, Something Special in the Stands, and that's the one that I'm going to read right now for the kiddos. So let's get started. Emily Jones McCoy is the author of Something Special in the Stands. Here we go. Okay. Baseball is a special game, and the ballpark is a special place. It's known as America's pastime for a reason, because for decades it has brought people together. For Hattie, going to the ballpark was pure joy. She grew up in the stands cheering for her favorite player, her brother, Henry. Hattie would even take her turn at the plate and in the field. She loved everything about baseball, even watching it on television. Her whole family would gather around the television to watch their favorite team, and sometimes Hattie would even get to stay up past her bedtime to watch all the way until the final out. Hattie dreamed about going to watch her favorite team in person. Every year on her birthday, as she blew out her candles, she wished for a trip to the ballpark. And one day, her dream came true. Hattie opened a giant package with a big blue bow on top. She couldn't wait to open that present, but she saved it for last because it was the biggest and the heaviest of the bunch. She just knew there had to be something magical inside. But when she finally opened it, all she found was a mound of wadded up paper and a couple of big rocks at the bottom. That's when her mom said, "Lift up those heavy rocks and see what's underneath them." And that's when she saw it, a ticket to the big leagues to watch her favorite team. She squealed with delight and counted the days until she could punch her ticket. 7 days seemed like an eternity, and when Hattie finally walked into the ballpark that day, her eyes were as wide as saucers as she took in all of the sights and sounds baseball has to offer. This place was bigger than she ever imagined. There were people everywhere, and the ballpark seemed never-ending. Even the food was enormous. To her left was a 2-foot-long hot dog stand, and to her right was a concession stand with burgers the size of home plate. Hattie was overwhelmed, to say the least. But just then, Hattie met a girl who had a smile that could make anyone feel at ease. Her name was Hannah, and she was the usher. "Enjoy the game, young lady," Hannah said. Hattie was drawn to Hannah's smile, but couldn't help notice she looked a little bit different than she did. So she asked her mom, "Is Hannah the same as me?" And her mom responded quickly, "Yes and no. Yes, she is a baseball-loving girl just like you. But no, she doesn't look just like you, talk like you, or act just like you, and that's okay. When you see someone who looks different than you, don't stare, just say hi. They might be a lot more like you than you realize." Hannah escorted Hattie to her seat, and the game began. Hattie was in heaven watching her favorite team play, not on TV, but in real life. It was a dream come true. But in between innings, Hattie couldn't help but notice her new friend Hannah. She was dancing in the aisles at the ballpark, and everyone around her loved it. She was Hannah, the dancing usher. What is it about Hannah that makes her special? Hattie asked her mom. Hannah is an amazing dancer and a fantastic usher. She was born with Down syndrome, which means she was born with an extra chromosome. So she learns things differently than you and acts a little differently than you. Hattie wanted to be able to dance like Hannah up and down the aisles as if no one was watching. And pretty soon, Hattie found herself doing just that, dancing in the aisles to whatever tune came over the speakers. And everyone around her did the same, including another fan decked out in team colors, from her hat to her socks. This girl was serious about baseball and the home team. She even had a matching teddy bear in tow to prove it. She was kind and quick to offer insight about the game and every player on the team. Her name was Amber, and she was happy to pass on her knowledge and love of baseball to others. Amber was a grown-up, like Hattie's mom, but she was fun and loved baseball just like Hattie. And also like Hattie, Amber loved the feeling she got from being at the ballpark. It was pure joy. That prompted another question from Hattie. Mommy, Amber is a grown-up, but sometimes she acts like a kid, like me. How come? Well, honey, Hattie's mom responded, Amber is a super fan, and she has a type of autism. She learns some things differently, but she remembers things like baseball scores and schedules, and especially players, better than a lot of grown-ups. Hattie wanted Amber to teach her everything she knew about baseball because she had never met someone who knew so much about her favorite team. Hattie was glued to Amber's side the rest of the game, except, of course, when it was time to dance in the aisles with Hannah. That day at the ballpark was everything Hattie imagined it would be and more. She had dreamt about it for so long, and when it finally came, it was even better than she expected. Her team won, and so did she. She left that game with a couple of new baseball pals and some valuable lessons that would stick with her forever. When you see someone who looks different than you, don't stare, just say hi. They might be a lot more like you than you realize. Dream big, smile often, ask questions, listen for answers, dance in the aisles. Share what you know, make new friends, love hard, and always choose kind. Oh, what a great book. Something special in the stands. Thank you, Emily Jones McCoy, for writing this. Really appreciate it. I hope everybody enjoyed it, and I hope that it helps out a little bit, either at home for nighttime routine or in your classrooms. I'll look for some more books to read soon. Take care, everybody.